Basically what we've covered so far is your transverse abdominis. It just means front of your abs.
Sure.
Right now we're gonna work on your lower back, basically anywhere from, well, basically the base of your neck, all the way down to your lower back. You know, a common postural dysfunction with most people.
Terrible posture, so.
Is basically a rounding of the shoulders forward. So drawing back obviously improves height. You know, you see the old hunched over old person. Well, that's not because they're old, it's because they've gone so long without strengthening up their rhomboids that's just a common muscle that they literally start slumping over. It's them being lazy. Okay, so not that all people are lazy.
This is hard to do, just this. Okay.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna lie stomach down. I'll just kind of pretend the floor is right here for now. I'm gonna have you palms face down. We're gonna then basically try to lift our chest off of the floor while at the same time drawing our hands off the floor. I then want you to pretend like you have a pencil wedged right in between your shoulder blades.
Okay.
And we're gonna pinch that pencil and we're gonna hold for 2 to 3 seconds and then we're gonna relax onto the floor.
Okay.
So, legs straight, toes flexed away. You're just gonna have your palms on the floor.
Okay.
Chin tucked down. We're then just gonna raise our chest off the floor while at the same time drawing our hands off and squeezing that pencil in between our shoulder blades.
It looks like he's trying to fly.
There you go. And then we're gonna slowly relax. And this one we're actually gonna do multiple repetitions of, anywhere from 10 to 20, depending on your level of endurance.
And this is strengthening the posture muscles, basically, right? I mean,
if you want to simplify it like that, yeah.
If this is the weak part of my body that's sort of gigiving up in the fight between the front and the back.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try it. And again, not gonna get any cool points here. Feels strange.
Well, we don't exercise to be cool.
No. Right. And then, do I put my feet down, or does it matter?
Your feet are perfect where they are. Basically, your toes are flexed away from your knees. And let's actually make more of an A with your body. So if you want to think about your head as the top of the A, and your arms are the legs, right
and
there's
then I
good.
go like this. I raise up, and then I
pinch. Yep, right there, and you're gonna hold for 2 to 3 seconds, and then you're slowly gonna relax.
Okay.
The goal here.
All the way down?
You can go all the way down to basically where you're relaxed on the floor.
Okay.
As relaxed as you can be, face down.
And then go up, and then pull back.
The majority of it should be within the middle of your back.
I can feel it. And then you do, how many repetitions would you do?
Depending on your overall level of endurance, anywhere from 10 to 20. And so obviously if you can only start off by doing, say, 5 to 10, then slowly build up, and you'd want to do multiple sets of those 5 to 10 repetitions until you get up to 3 sets of 15 to 20.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming and showing me a few exercises. As you can see, these are not difficult exercises, as long as you can get over looking maybe a little strange here or there. And they're really, they're challenging. It's not easy to do, but I definitely can feel that I did a little something, you know, in the middle of my body and my back. So now there are no excuses. You could do it in a living room, and I hope that you'll do it in your living room. We have tackled the food and we've tackled the exercise, but sometimes relationships are the toughest thing to change. So we are talking today to my friend, Don Gilbert, who is the president and CEO of New Life Counseling and also a counselor. And we're going to talk about toxic relationships.
Wonderful.
So tell me, I think that sometimes recognizing toxic relationships is the hardest thing. You don't want to be paranoid, but you also need to be wise about who you're hanging out with. So how do I recognize that?
Well, it depends on what kind of toxic relationship you're talking about, but there are certain things that you need to understand. Number one is if you are the kind of person who has a tendency to be a quiet person and not speak out and not speak your mind, then there's a tendency that you all might find somebody who is more opinionated or over-controlling or possesses opinions that are stronger than yours and may get upset if you have opinions that are different.
Well, opposites tend to attract.
Yes,
so
they do.
We pair together the people who, you know, the stronger person with maybe the quieter person. It doesn't mean that they're weaker.
No.
Give me some words that, you know, just to start the ball rolling.
Well, I think if you have an opinion about something and you don't speak up, then you are probably going to more than likely be in a toxic relationship because you are not speaking up for yourself.
So how do you start over? Because I don't want to have to lose every friend that maybe I haven't been expressing my opinion with, and but I've got to start that good behavior where we're on equal footing.
Well, the reality is if you are going to be on equal ground in any relationship, you have to start with yourself. And if you don't speak up for yourself, you have to learn to start doing that and find ways to do that casually, if you will. And you don't just jump in and speak your opinion all the time.
So I shouldn't go with a half an hour straight, everything I can't stand about the person. That would be bad.
That would be bad.
But just start somewhere.
Just start with one thing.
And turning the tables, if I'm the person who is going to get some sort of confrontation, I'm the toxic friend, let's say.
Yes.
But I care about that person, and I don't. Maybe I'm not intentional about it, but it's still happening. What's the best way to receive that? How should I be thinking through it?
Well, that really depends on the person and how toxic you are, how controlling you are, or whether or not you're willing.
But let's just say run-of-the-mill toxic, frenemies,
Well, I think you have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to listen, and I think what I would say is listen first, speak second. Have some time to think about what you're saying before you're going to say it. So listen, and if somebody's telling you that, there might be some truth about it that you may want to hear, because it may not be the only relationship that you are being toxic in.
I just want one more thing. If I was going to start the conversation and say, Don, and I'm about to say, I need to set the stage. I just need to tell you something that's on my mind. I mean, give me just a few phrases that if someone's watching this and they want, this is hitting home for them.
Yes.
The first few sentences are the hardest, I think.
Well, one of the ways that you can do that is to say, I need to share something with you, and it's hard for me to share this. I don't want you to be upset, but I know that you may not like hearing what I have to say. Could I have a time, could we have a few moments where we can talk? Would that be okay?
Face-to-face versus email or a letter to start that conversation.
Letters are better than emails. Emails are really not a good way to do that.
Right.
It's better to do it in person, but if you can't do it in person, then certainly a very succinct, to the point kind of letter would be better than an email. And it would be safer for you if you do that rather than face-to-face if you're just getting started.
Right. Well, I think this has been great, Don. I really appreciate you talking to me about toxic relationships. I know there are a lot of people who are dealing with that, and I hope that you will find this information useful and that you will start thinking about whether it's you that maybe needs to listen or you need to speak up and just explore. If it's a true friendship, I know that it will work out.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Nead Inspiration. For more information about this episode and others, stop by needinspiration.com, www.needinspiration.com, and thanks for watching.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Nead Inspiration. We're proud to bring a new episode each and every week. Stop into Des Moines Motors and see our incredible line of noble cars, electric motor vehicles, and quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We'll see you on the next episode of Nead Inspiration.